This podcast is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at pncn.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
Yeah, but they're... You're breaking anymore.
Hello, and welcome to the Botch Games Podcast. This is episode number 51. This is your host, Craig. I'm down in the studio by myself right now, but that'll change coming up fairly soon. This episode is the Origins recap episode, where we're going to just talk about our Origins experience, some of the things we did, some of the fun things that we played, some traditions. I'm going to be joined this episode by Erin and Tyler in a little bit to talk about what we've played. So you'll hear some of the Origins things we played outside of Origins. And then Tyler and I are going to be talking about just the experience and what we did, where we went, things we saw, people we played with, all that kind of fun stuff. I realized that I didn't talk much in the later segments about my experience and the fun things that I played sans Erin or Tyler, so I guess that I'm going to do that now. Tyler and I realized, because we saw a poster on the wall, which you'll hear later, that we have been there every year since 2007, which means that this was our 9th year at Origins. And Origins has changed a lot in 9 years. When we first went, it was mainly... there was a huge CCG area with magic cards and things like that. The main focus of it was RPGs and war games. There weren't many board games. So mainly of the events that you signed up for were one-off RPGs or war games, tactical miniature games, things of that nature. There were some board games, but they weren't huge because that was a time when, it was mainly Catan and Carcassonne and stuff like that. It wasn't until years later when we started seeing people like Plaid Hat and Slugfest that we started seeing more of the board games. And then the past few years, it's just exploded. So we got to see a lot of interesting new products coming out. We spent a little bit of time at the Communionaut booth like we normally do. Not nearly as much as we normally did because... I think just even in the past year, Communionaut has gotten so big that, like last year, it was just buried back in a corner where you could go and you could pay some generics and you could just, play as many games as you wanted and earn promo coupons from the Communionaut guys. But this year, it was a main attraction between the others and Arcadia Quest and the Grizzled. There's at least 2 tables of the Grizzled, and Communionaut's coming out with so many new games that we just couldn't get near the booth like we did last year. So that was one of my regrets. There were a few more regrets. I mean, mind you, there was plenty of great stuff, but there were definitely some things that I missed out on that I wanted to do or buy. So I missed out on Junk Art, which Tyler, you'll hear later, had a ton of fun with. I missed picking up Beyond Baker Street, which I can't wait for that release because it's like Hanabi. I wanted to pick up a copy of Dead Last and Sushi Go Party and didn't get those. And the last game that I wanted to pick up and didn't was like Holmes, Sherlock, and Mycroft, which is like a 2-player worker placement game. And I just ran out of time and energy and money and couldn't get those things. But, so it goes. Probably have more games than I probably need anyway. Oh, I know that's blasphemy. But anyway, some of the high points for me personally from Origins is... after hours, because the main hall closed at 1 a.m. So after hours, Will and I would go back to the hotel and sit in the hotel bar area, grab the longest table we could find, and play something massive and ridiculous. So the first night we were at the hotel, which was Thursday. Wednesday night, we stayed off-site at a friend's house. So Thursday night, we took over a giant table in the bar and played 2-player Star Wars Rebellion. I finally got to play the Rebels. I won as the Rebels, which means that I am 5-0. In Star Wars Rebellion. Can't be beat. I won't say that. Oh, I could probably be beat, but I haven't been beat yet. So there. And actually, Star Wars Rebellion is what episode number 52 is going to be about. So it's a good thing that I got to play the other side. And, I still got to get a couple more plays in before I talk about it next episode. But the second night, Will decided that his whole goal of Origins was to buy a big box game. So after many days of deliberation and deciding and demoing and playing, he decided to pick up Besieged from Communionaut, mainly because it is a Well, I mean, it's tower defense, but mainly because he could play at one player. So he could set up in his new place and play one player Besieged. And that's kind of where I'm leaning to, which is why I'm backing Massive Darkness. But it's another story for another day. So the second night, which was Friday night, we decided that we were going to set up and learn Besieged. I should also note that the Star Wars Rebellion night on Thursday night lasted about 4 hours. So we finished up at about 5 a.m. Probably not the wisest thing, but it was fun. And then Besieged, we set it up and learned it and figured out what we were doing right and doing wrong and corrected and did all these things and probably played that for about 3 hours and got maybe 2 turns in because we did some things wrong. But we know how it plays and we had a good time. So Friday night, we finished up at about 4 a.m. Saturday night, we drove home. So those were major high points for me. Were playing those giant games, just me and Will, just chilling out. Playing Rebellion, learning Besieged. It was a great time. I also met so many people, so many listeners, so many friends of the show, so many other media people, played games with some other friends. It was a blast. I'm so sad that I have to wait another year until I get to see most of these people again because they're great people. They're great people. Especially I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to the podcast of Nonsensical Gamer people, Dan and Matt and Tiff. I didn't get to play any games with Dan, but we talked for quite a while. Got to play some fun games with Matt, and Tyler got to play some fun games with Tiff. So thank you guys so much for being so cool and hanging out with us. And I also want to thank Patrick Hillier for, kind of breaking us in right away as soon as we got there, including Tyler and a bunch of stuff, and just generally hanging out with us and being an awesome guy. So thank you so much, Patrick. We're just little people, and it's so nice to be able to just hang out with other media people and chat and shoot the crap and talk the business and play some games, and mainly the games. I mean, that's what Origins is all about. Yeah, you see some things. There aren't too many new things released at Origins, but you get to play so many games with so many people. I did not post, as most people do, I did not post a picture of my Origins haul because by the time I got home, I was already ready to start unpacking everything and put it away. I got some Arcadia Quest promos, which means that I have way more characters than I could ever use. I picked up Oh My Goods, Isle of Skye, My Happy Farm, Imperial Settlers expansion. I don't think I picked up much more than that. It was a light convention for me. I just mostly played games. That's it. That's my little intro. That's my feelings about Origins. And then in the next 2 segments, you're going to hear the main bulk of what we played with Erin and Tyler, like I said. And then Tyler and I are going to wrap it up with our thoughts, our expectations, our highs and lows, our traditions. The last thing that I will say in this section is, man, I can't wait for next year. So with that, we'll be right back. Hi, guys.
Hello. I'm erasing words.
How are you guys?
Sleepy and I want a milkshake.
So, believe it or not, I don't get to say that we didn't play many games. I get to say we played a ton of games.
We played all the games.
A butt ton.
A butt ton of games. And we just got back from Origins a few days ago, and I still haven't caught up on sleep yet.
Same.
Well, that's your own fault.
Did you really get to play the Grizzled with the new thing?
Yep.
Oh, that's not fair.
We'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. So we're back from Origins. Some of us are still sleepy.
I'm not. Well, that's a lie. I've been staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's your own fault. And we have tons of games that we played. So this is the segment in which I talk to my wife and my son.
You have a wife?
I do, Erin. So it was that person there. So that's my wife, Erin. And then, of course, there's my son, Tyler. And then there's my son, Tyler.
Hello.
And we did games and things.
Well, we didn't do games. We played games. Because doing games is terrible.
All right, that one. We played games.
We did other things, too.
Did we? Like what?
Like we swam.
I didn't.
And we ate out.
We did.
At the Melt and Max and Irma's.
I didn't.
I had Max and Irma's. I did not have the Melt.
We had
Beaties.
Ew.
We had Beaties, and it was delicious. It was the best. I made the best bowl I've ever made in my life.
Oh, really? You never told me about it.
Yeah, it was so good.
My bowl's name was Kicking It in Noodles.
Kicking in the noodles? Or
Kicking and Noodles.
Kicking and noodles.
Because I said chicken and noodles, and Saker thought I said kicking and noodles.
There you go. Mine was because we name our bowls when we go to Beatty's. So my bowl was named Wait For It Part 2. because I'm allergic to seafood, so I just send it in the back.
You did send it in the back this time.
Yeah, and then by the time everybody's was about done with their first bowl, mine finally showed up at the table. So the name of my bowl was, wait for it. That's it.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Just wait. Next year will be part 3.
Next year, I'm just going to give up. But anyway, what kind of fun games did we play that you guys want to talk about? Anything fun from...
Not 7 Wonders.
No, we did not play Seven
Thank
Wonders.
goodness.
We have not played Seven
I'm gonna
Wonders
get punched.
in a while.
Okay, I didn't get punched. That's cool.
So are there any games that we played before we left for Origins? I think there's a few.
You, me, and Will played 7 Sevens.
We did.
I thought we talked about that last time.
I think we played it right after we recorded.
Oh. Well, it was good. I kind of forgot a little bit how to play it, but we should play it again. Maybe tonight.
Well, it's on your list of like top 10 forever.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. Mm-hmm. So instead of at the end of the thing, I will say now that I want to play Cacao, 7 Sevens, Bring Out Your Dead.
Orleans.
Okay.
Oh my goods.
Yes, that too.
That's all we played. I mean, your family was in and we played some Timeline and Rhino Hero.
You said it right.
I
Good
said
job.
it. I said Timeline. And then we got to Origins.
Yes, we did. It was a 2.5 hour drive.
Yep. Which is relatively short for how long other people drove.
Yeah, Jose was asking me where other people came from.
All over.
Matt came from Baltimore.
We hung out a lot with Matt from Nonsensical Gamers. They're from Baltimore, which is a travesty that anyone should have to live there.
I just love the harbor, though.
Yeah.
And the crabs.
You have crabs?
No, I love the crabs.
Oh, they would kill me. I would die. I would die in Baltimore.
The hard shell crabs, not the soft shell.
There is no way that I would survive in Baltimore because it would be a risk to my health every day that there just might happen to be seafood on my plate.
Yeah, but we went. What did you even get that time?
I didn't eat.
You didn't eat?
We went to the Rusty Scupper and I didn't eat because everything in there was coated in a fine layer of fish.
You didn't get, like...
No.
Oh.
I didn't eat. I was terrified that I was going to die before we got on the cruise.
True love takes your wife.
To the Scupper.
Yeah. For supper.
Yes.
Rhymes, man.
So then, what are some games from Origins that we played that you guys thought were really fun?
Junk art.
Drunk art.
Not that one, but definitely Junk Art.
That would be fun to play that game drunk.
What?
Tyler.
It would just be hilarious
You're too
just
young.
to see.
Oh, to see other people drunk?
Yeah.
Not you drunk?
No.
Okay, good. You're about to get stuff thrown at you across the table.
Like what?
I don't like my mouse. I don't know. You like this exalted book that probably weighs about 3 pounds?
That I will dodge. Probably hit the mic, which will
The
blow
cat.
your eardrums out.
Meow.
Yeah, I'll just toss the cat across the room
Blech.
at you. Okay, so Junk Art. Tell me about Junk Art.
Dexterity. Next one.
No, you have to tell me about Junk Art.
Okay, so you're at this location, but it's like all role-played. No, I don't know how to explain.
The theme's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's mini games, and what do you do in these mini games?
You're trying to stack the tallest tower in most of them.
Okay,
Is that the wooden block game?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't get to play it.
yeah,
It's fun.
We waited, but other people cut us off, I think,
yeah. That's what happens at Origins.
to bring out our box out hips next year.
I got an angry story about that, but I haven't decided if I'm going to tell it yet. It might have already gotten told in the intro. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll tell it now because it happened to me and Tyler. But anyway,
What?
oh, we'll get to it. The catacomb story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Junk Art. But each of the games, I want to get you kind of to the point here. Each of the games has a different mechanism on how you get your pieces to build the tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me some of those mechanisms.
So, like, in one of the locations, you deal out 10 cards to everyone.
And each of the cards signifies one of the pieces, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's one card for each piece.
There's one card for each piece.
Yeah, one piece for each card. You get 10 cards, you look through the hand, and then you're like, oh, this is kind of a screw your neighbor kind of type of deal thing. And you put the card that you want the person next to you to place on their tower. You put it at the top of your at the top of your hand, which you will. In a 6-player game, you will probably see all the cards. So it's like, oh, I knew you were gonna play that one. Or in a 2-player game, you have a better chance of guessing what card you want. But
Yeah.
that's besides the point.
So then you pass it to your neighbor.
Pass it to the left or the right, whichever one, I don't care. And then you flip the top card, and then you have to try and stack that piece on top of your tower. And you have a little black base, so you can't be like, the table's our base? I'm gonna place it over there on the corner. Mm-hmm. No, you have to place it on this little black box.
Gotcha. If you win a scenario, you get some wooden chips, which are called fans, and then you play to so many fans, right?
What they are called fans? They're like art fans. Like, hey, that's a nice painting.
No,
I'm
they're
a fan of that.
They're art fans. They're art fans. They're fans of your art. You're trying to gain fans of your art
Okay.
to win. So what was the cool part about that game? Do you want me to start beginning to tell the cool part of that game?
Yes.
There were a group of people that were getting ready to play it, and you were like, man, I really want to play junk art. It looks so cool. So I walked up and I was like, hey, got spot for one more? And they were like, yeah, sure, come on, sit down and play. So he just walked up, he sat down with a table full of adults and media people and designers and things. Just played junk art. Was it awesome?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Were they inclusive and they included you? Mm-hmm. And they were nice? Mm-hmm. That's why I love this community. There really aren't any dicks, except for one guy. So
who's that?
Catacombs. It's the Catacombs story.
My first game that I played when I got there, because we got lured into it, was Dragonstone Mine. But it turned out to be one of my favorites the whole time. Basically, the guy who was demoing it told us that it was a rainy day and the designer had his kids and had to think of something to do. So they went to the hardware store, had a few bucks, picked up a few things, and made a game from it. You pretty much are... The thing is they said it was for kids to play too, but there was too many directions. I don't know how younger kids could do it. Of course, younger kids have really good memories too, but...
Unlike you.
Yeah. So you pretty much have to fill up 6 pegs with your diamonds. Your action by pulling a diamond out of the bag. And then depending on what color you get, it makes you do certain things like stealing a diamond from your neighbor or redrawing or I don't know. But I really liked it, and it's a Kickstarter game.
Yeah, they said it's coming on Kickstarter next month or something.
Yeah, and we played with 2 people. Mm-hmm. And I liked it because it's uses a little bit of your brain, and then some of it is left up to chance. Mm-hmm. So it was good, and it didn't take very long.
And it's drawing stuff out of a bag. Who
Yeah.
doesn't love that? So what did we get to play that Erin is totally jealous of then?
The Grizzled?
Yeah, we played the Grizzled expansion. And we bought the Grizzled expansion.
I know, and I still haven't gotten to play it, and I just like the regular Grizzled. Because it takes a lot of teamwork.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Well, this does about the same. Mm-hmm. Except there's a deck of missions that you can draw. And if you draw a mission, you draw the top 2. Some of them are bad, some of them are good. So, like, the bad ones will be like, there's an extra rain in play this turn. Mm-hmm. But the good ones will be like, if you use your lucky charm, get rid of 2 cards on the table with the same, with that type of hazard.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But the thing that it does is it also gives you a minimum number of cards you have to deal to everybody. It's not like I'm going to deal everybody 3 cards and then we fail and you're like, why did you deal us 3 cards? We couldn't get through that. Now it's like,
yeah,
okay, the mission told me that everybody gets 2.
Not my favorite feature of that game, so that sounds good. Mm-hmm. And then it makes it more military, like where you have an actual mission.
And everybody gets their own standee of your character that you stand in front of you, and it's super cool. And then the one guy, who did we say the one guy in the Grizzled expansion looked like? Whenever the standee was up, it looked like Kopak was just standing on the table. Mini Kopak. So yeah, that was pretty fun. We got to get that to the table.
Okay, so we played Karuba. Jose and Tyler and I played Karuba.
And
at
some
the
other guy.
Haribo, right? What's that called?
Haba?
Haba, not
Yeah.
Haribo. Haribo is the candy.
Haribo's the gummy bears.
They have gummy Smurfs, you know.
I did not.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Karuba.
it's up for the Spiel des Jahres.
Spiel des Jahres, the game of the year.
Okay,
It
so
was close. It was a good try.
yeah,
All
but I
those
think
years of Spanish almost got you there.
not German.
Yeah.
So I thought it was all right. It grew on me. I definitely hated it at first. I thought it was kind of dumb. I don't think it's worth all that. Really. Come on, people. You're just putting down tiles in a not so random order, trying to make paths to your little Mayan pyramid. It's way overblown. This game is not that great, in my opinion.
Okay. I didn't get to play it. I had some kind of horrible, like, overheated, dehydrated moment on Friday where for like 2 hours I was just incapacitated and in a cold sweat and I just couldn't even function. So I didn't even get to play Karuba.
Yeah, I felt bad for you. My friend Jose loved it. Jose is one of my very best friends ever in life, and we met at college when we went the first time.
Her name is Karen, by the way.
Her name is Karen, but we call each other Jose. She got a score of, what was it, Ty, 24 or 34? Anyhow, it was the convention high. Only one other person had gotten it, and that was the highest score. So she was pretty thrilled about that. And then her brother-in-law is a big gamer from Pennsylvania, and so she got to take back bragging rights.
There you go.
She really liked it. I just thought it was meh.
What'd you think of it, Tyler?
I liked it. It was very confusing at first.
Yeah, but once you kind of understood the rules, like, did it make sense? Like, I'm completely in the dark about Karuba. I have no idea how it plays. I have no idea how it works, which is kind of unfortunate because I'm a board game reviewer and it's up for the SDJ, and I was too sick to play it.
You'll have to watch a video.
Yeah.
And you exploded a bottle of Mountain Dew.
Oh, that was my low point of the convention. Yeah, you'll have to tell me about it because I have no context clues on what it's even. I know you like flip tiles. One person has the tiles and like they flip them and everybody else's are laid out, right?
Yeah.
Pick up the one the person picks, and then you pick up that one and put it on your board in a random spot, but you're trying to connect your pathway to get to your, not gazebo.
Temple.
Yes.
And you have to like get gems or something. Like you have a
Some
few
of the
different
tiles get gems. Like there's a gem thingy on it, an icon. So if you land on that, you have to stop on that to pick up the gem or the diamond. And then those are extra points at the end.
people. Okay.
So I guess where it takes your brain is where you have to figure out how to build your tile path so that you can get to your temple. I mean, it's a good game, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's everything it's cracked up to be.
Gotcha. How about you, Tyler? Do you think it's worthy of being considered the game of the year in Germany?
No, I didn't like it. Because how you move is really if. Because Aaron and Jose was like, how do we move? And the guy looked in the rule book. It's like, I don't know.
That's a bad first sign. Looked in the rule book.
No, like the guy playing with us, he wasn't a Hava worker.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because our Hava worker disappeared. Which, as it turns out, was that lady Lynn, who was the president.
Leah,
in USA, which I did not know. Didn't know who she was.
president of Haba USA.
She was super personable.
Well, because after that, you guys played Monster
Laundry.
Monster
Laundry. Jose blew me and Leah, not proper English, out of the water.
And Tyler.
Yes, because Jose still hangs her laundry. She's super green, but she hangs her laundry, and freaking A, she blew us out of the water. Like, while we were still looking for our second character and hanging it up on the laundry line, she was already done, like, waiting for us, done. It was really kind of humorous.
Gotcha. What did you think of Monster Laundry, kid?
I liked it.
It's kind of a party game.
Yeah.
Would you play it with the younger kids?
Yes, but I wouldn't.
I think it's definitely a kids game.
I would let them win.
So the three nominees for the Spiel des Jahres, okay, one of them is Karuba. And then there's Imhotep, which we saw being played, Tyler, with the giant cubes in the boats. And then Codenames.
Codenames is going to win.
Jose really likes Codenames. I find it boring. I don't really like it.
Love Codenames.
I know.
I freaking love it.
We saw Codenames Pictures.
Codename Pictures?
Codename Picture at Origins. And it looks pretty sweet. Yeah, I think Codenames too.
I would hope so. I played one My Happy Farm.
Yeah? Tyler, you played that too, right?
Yep, with you. The first time you played it.
I really, really liked it. Definitely will play it again. It's totally like has mechanics that I like. The animals are super cute. My only beef with it is there's not very much leeway.
It's almost too short.
Yeah, there's not enough margin in between players. Like, it's so easy to tie or be close, and it is a little short.
Yeah.
But it was cute. It was a cute idea.
It almost has like, this is going to be weird. It almost has like Rosenberg for kids feel. You know, like Uwe Rosenberg for kids? Agricola.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Agricola.
Yeah, it almost
you have to buy things, and then they multiply or move up, so then you can trade them in, which I really, really like that kind of mechanic.
You have to harvest them, and then you have to decide if you want to sell them or feed them, and then you get negative points if your animals aren't fed.
So I thought it was kind of limited, but maybe it would be better to, like, introduce somebody to an Agricola type game.
Yeah.
I don't like how you can only harvest those 2 plants the second time that it goes, and then you have to wait another time.
Yeah, and then you
to go
have
again.
to, or you lose them, which is I don't like that. I don't know. It's limited.
Well, I think it gives you, in that point, it gives you a difficult kind of decision. Like, okay, I see that this person's getting close to being able to harvest this, which is going to let them get this point, or this card to feed their whatever, which is going to take the points away from me. So maybe I need to harvest these two vegetables early.
I guess that's kind of the goal of the game, and maybe I just hoped that there was more from it. You know, maybe I was hoping for more, but that really is the goal, to kind of beat your neighbor to it and think a move or two ahead. Because
that wouldn't be the case, except that you get points if you have the happiest animal of a certain type. Like, we go around to all the different 4 animals, and whoever has the longest animal gets the points, gets 3 extra points. And 3 points in this game is huge. Mm-hmm. Huge. So, yeah, I like it. It's a Portal game.
Yeah, it's good. I'd play it again.
Wait, you place portals that your animals go through and they...
Nope.
Wrong game. Sorry.
Nope.
Okay, so you set a portal here and I'll set a portal here.
No, still the wrong thing.
You'll jump and I'll catch it in midair.
Still the wrong thing.
That was such a good play, though. Dicks.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because that was Father's Day. So, anything else from Origins?
We played Oh My Goods the night we got home, or the night you and Tyler got home. I don't think Tyler played.
Tyler played it.
Did you play Oh My Goods?
He played it
3 times.
1.5 times. 2.5 times.
No, I
Yes.
meant that night, but you've
No,
played
not
it.
that night.
Yeah.
But he has played it.
I liked it. It took me a minute to catch on. The weird thing is it's all cards. Like, there's not really any coins, which is hard to get used to. I kind of didn't like that at first, but then you just get used to it being a card game. Like, it's a card game, period. It's small. You can take it with you, and the cards do everything, including be your money.
Well, your goods, which then can be sold for money. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
First time I played it, I did not like it at all.
I'll tell you what, it's like a glorified Splendor.
Nope.
Yeah, I know I just lost you, but it is. You have to gain points to buy coins to then trade in for other things.
For sale, all my goods. It's up for sale. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll sell it to you.
We're not selling
If
it.
it's glorified Splendor, I'm out.
We're playing it.
I don't think that it's glorified Splendor at all, because you have like the little worker placement thing going on, and then there's the risk on whether you're going to try and do the like, what is it, like the hardworking worker or the like lazy worker or whatever it's called. So there's that whole like kind of push your luck aspect.
Let it ride.
Exactly. There's that little push your luck aspect on, is the afternoon phase of the market going to give me the cards that I need to let me produce to the maximum or not? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Did you feel that way? I don't know. I thought it was a spectacular game.
I did. I enjoyed it. Probably my favorite from the weekend.
I liked it. As soon as I got it, I liked it.
So as soon as you were able to figure it out, you were better with it.
Yeah.
Okay. You would play it again?
Yes.
And it doesn't take up much table space, I don't think. It'd be nice to take it around with us to places. And like you said, there's no anything in this game except cards. So, cards.
Cards.
So that was one Alexander Pfister purchase, because that's his name. And then we also picked up Isle of Skye, which we have not played yet, but I've heard is just as amazing. It's a tile-laying game.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm 50-50 with tile-laying games.
Okay, let me name some tile-laying games.
Cacao, yeah, I like that one.
Cacao.
Lanterns.
Like lanterns.
Galaxy Trucker.
I didn't like that one, remember? Didn't I? I don't think I did.
I don't think that you really got a hang of how to build your ship, but once we started going, I think you had okay fun with it.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
Didn't like Karuba tiling.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
like Suro of the Seas tiling.
Well, you like Suro.
Yeah.
No, not really a ton. I liked it when we first played it, but I played a lot better things since then.
Castles Mad King Ludwig.
Didn't love that one.
You haven't played Suburbia yet.
No, Suburbia is pretty fun. I think it's better than Castles.
I think that's about all the tiling games I can think of off the top of my head. Okay, so
Takanoko?
Takanoko, kind of?
Kind of.
Kind of what? Kind of like it or kind of tile laying?
Kind of tiling. There's a lot more to it.
I think that's it. We can stop with that.
Portal?
Nope, Nevin hasn't played it.
That's kind of a
No.
tile-laying game.
I guess maybe. But yeah, Isle of Skye, I hear it's really, really good. I was goaded into purchasing it and I was told I wouldn't be sorry. That and Oh My Goods at the same time, I was told I had to purchase them. And I wasn't. I'm not disappointed with Oh My Goods. And it was actually, it was Dan Halstead from Nonsensical Gamers and Tiff and Kopak who were like, yeah, buy those now. I did. And we'll see. We'll see how we like Isle of Skye. So I think that's probably right about it for
Roll for
Origins. Oh, okay. Roll for it. Okay.
Didn't win.
No? Did you like it? It was a
Yes.
pretty simple dice roller.
The dice were not on my side that time.
No, which is weird. Which is super weird. Are we? Are we done with Origins games?
Well, I like Dimension. Dimension was a good brain game.
That's the ball pyramids.
Yes, but I'll tell you what, I had to hear what each card meant. I couldn't just look at it and know.
Yeah, because you're not visual.
So, like, he would say them, and then when you read them back off to me, then I could do it.
I like Dimensions a lot. Is it Dimension or Dimensions?
Just dimensions.
Which means that you're wrong.
Yes.
Okay, so it's Dimension.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a game that I probably wouldn't mind having in the collection.
No, I
That would
feel
be a
like
fun thing to play with the family.
it would be different every time, and it really is a good brain workout.
I think
Dexterity.
I think between Dimension and Junk Art, I think that those are two dexterity-ish kind of games that we should own to have with, like, the parents.
There's no S.
With the parent.
With the parent.
There's no S in dimension.
Okay, so Dimension. Dominion.
Yes.
There's no S at all, so Dominion.
Yes.
Like Dominion.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's really fun. It's super fun.
We played Kitty Paw. Super cute. I only have to play it once.
Yeah. Tyler's just shaking his head no. Was it bad?
I didn't like it because I'm not good at speed games.
Oh.
That game, that day that Erin came, Friday, was all speed games, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, it was like spatial recognition.
Which is weird because you keep saying that you're not good at those either.
I'm not.
So
it was cute, but I wouldn't play it again. To me, it wasn't fun.
Okay.
It was,
A mental exercise.
yeah, and it wasn't fun. Seems like something I did in kindergarten, which I wasn't good at. And so if they gave you five exercises.
You were good at kindergarten?
In the box, well, we used to have these little stations with boxes of different activities. So, and it was supposed to be fun, but also working on things. So, like, we had 5 different boards with rubber band pegs that we had to copy. So I would take out one, do that for like the whole time period, and put the other 4 in the box and hide them, and then get signed off on it because I couldn't do them. They took forever.
I thought you just said you were good at kindergarten and then...
No. I was not good at these spatial recognition things since kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
But I probably was really good at kindergarten.
Okay. So, because you were like kindergarten, I was good at it. So I was going to be like, add it to the list. Kindergarten, plane crashes.
World's Fair?
Yeah, 1893?
4?
Is it 4?
No, it was 3.
Is it?
1893. It's right behind you.
Okay, World's Fair 1893. We played this with...
2 drunk people. No, 1. 1.
Did you play this with me twice or just once?
Once.
Who did I play it with the first time?
Matt and... No, maybe.
Yeah, Matt and Kel and somebody. I don't know.
I don't know.
But then the second time we played with...
Evan
and George, who are our friends from outside of the convention. And we got to play it with them. But I also played it the day before with Matt and Kel from Nonsensical Gamers. And it seems like there was somebody else too. And I don't know who it was. But that's not important. Just why don't you tell me about your experience with whatever game this is we're talking about?
World's Fair 1893.
That one. I don't know. I saved them as anonymous. I played it with 3 other players. I just don't know who they were. Matt and Kel and either Steve or Dan L. I'm not sure which. I think it was Steve. But anyway.
I liked it a lot. I said that to all of these games.
Pretty
so far.
much. That's pretty much your answer. You're like a person at a creative writing workshop.
Except Kitty Paw.
And that's your critique. I liked it a lot.
Well, I'm glad he had fun. Maybe he can go back.
He'll definitely go back.
Yeah, I'm definitely going back next year.
Okay, so World's Fair 1893, what was it all about? What kind of game would you describe it as?
Set collection game.
That's pretty good. But what are you trying to do along with the set collection?
Get tickets so you can end the game faster.
Well, if you're going to troll, yes, but you're also trying to get majority in the different areas around the Ferris wheel. So
to get to approve the world's largest cheese.
Yes, that's one of them. To get the different things that you're trying to collect approved.
Yeah.
Which is going to get you vote tickets, and then you're going to get ribbons and victory points and coins.
And coins.
And they're all victory points, but it's a really cool... I think it's really cool.
I think it was cool also.
Do you think Erin will like it?
No. Maybe.
Sounded all right, maybe. Set collection.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
So does that end us on Origins?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then, Father's Day was Sunday.
Yes, it was.
And I got some kind of meal.
Hot ham and cheese.
Hot ham and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
And then today you got chicken and stuffing.
Yeah, for Father's Day, which is my favorite meal. That Erin makes this special chicken and stuffing. It's delicious.
But isn't today Tuesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
I was close.
You know, work,
Hashtag us for the recipe.
work and marching band and all that kind of stuff.
Really,
Messing up
I made it
schedules.
because I love him, but we'll say it was for Father's Day.
There you go. So we played on Father's Day.
Dick, sit.
We played Dixit, which was my Father's Day gift.
Yes, it was. You're welcome.
And what did you guys think of Dixit?
It was good.
Alice.
It was good. I liked it.
Killing me. You guys
It
are
was
killing me.
It was good. I really did like it. It was interesting to see where people's minds went with things. The art was really tripping. Enjoyed that. You could get really poetic or really just black and white with it. I could see where the cards would get really boring if you played it a lot, so we definitely would need more cards. So they did it
Yeah.
right there if they wanted to make money.
It kind of works like apples to apples, but you're giving a word clue based on
A little bit
one
like
of the-
Codename too.
Yeah, one of the cards. You pick one of the cards in your hand that's a picture, and you use a word to describe it, and then everybody else picks a card from their hand that they think also matches that word, and then you're just trying to get them to. You're trying to get at least one person to pick your card as the one that you were describing, if that makes sense.
It does.
The scoring's kind of wonky. You guys couldn't really figure out the scoring a lot of the time. And my mom thought that she was like winning at all times
And her
and
bunny was always behind.
always behind. At one point, we just turned it around like it was just going the wrong way.
Tyler and I were pretty much on the same wavelength with it.
I won the first game by not getting one wrong. And then the second game, I think I got one wrong.
I think you lost to Erin by 2 points.
Nope, 1 point.
Oh, was it 1 point?
To see his
Wow.
creative side working.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
Who am I? I don't
Yeah.
have a creative side.
Well,
Well, you
the
do because you
game
won.
Begs to differ.
You whooped us.
Nope, that was luck.
No. So, and then before Erin got home actually on Sunday, we played one of your birthday gift games.
Suburbia.
Uh-huh. Tell me what you think about Suburbia and then compare it to Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
I liked it a lot more
Oh
than
my
Castles.
gosh. I liked it a lot.
That's not what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
I liked it a lot more than
Mom,
Castles.
my dad, and God. Thank you.
I liked it a lot more than Castles.
Why?
Because you're not making a castle and trying to make like, oh, this doesn't go there? Well, I'm gonna make it go there. Which is how I play Castles.
Okay. What else was a big difference between Castles and Suburbia that you said that you liked better in Suburbia?
The blind bidding.
Right. You didn't like having to pick the bids in Mad King Ludwig, where in Suburbia, the tiles just flowed down. Like, the longer they were in play, the cheaper they got, right?
Yeah.
And you like that better?
Yeah. So if you want to get easy money, you can just take one of the 0 tiles, flip it over, have a lake there, and slide it in wherever you want.
I think I agree with you on that track because I've said it on the podcast many times. I don't like auction games. I'm sorry whenever the heavy gamers are listening to this. I'm sorry, Edward, if you're hearing this. I don't like auction games. Just get them away from me. I don't care about them. It makes me socially anxious. I can't do it. And to take that kind of like setting up the price and fixing the price in Castles and taking it away and just having the slider in Suburbia, I liked it a lot better too because it made it strategic as opposed to head-to-head interactive competitive, and that made it a lot less stressful for me.
Yeah.
But you love Castles and Mad King Ludwig.
I do. I love building a castle, but I think if I played it again, I would take the money track and make it just like Suburbia
Yeah.
to where
Well, isn't it like that in 8 Minute Empire? Isn't that how you described it to me?
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I would like that better too. Because I don't like to bet or anything either.
Like whenever you and I have been out of the country and it's been a time in which it was time to haggle,
Oh, well, I'm good at that.
I am going to complete panic
But
and
I
have to
don't want
walk
to do it in
away.
a game.
I have to walk away. Can't do it. You tell me how much the thing is costing and I will pay it. And I
No,
will
I'll
walk
tell
away.
you how much I'm going to pay for it on the low end.
Nope, I can't do that. Can't do it.
Because then you're going to come back at me and say how much you want me to pay on the high end. And then we're going to agree on something.
Can't do it. Here's the thing about it. The reason why you and like your mom and my mom like can haggle is because you have no attachment to the thing that you may or may not get. So if it's not a price that you want it for, it's a game. If it's not the price you want it for, you just walk away.
Real life game.
When I want something, I'm going to pay what you are asking me for it because I want it. If I don't want it, I'm just not even going to begin the business transaction with you. But if I want it, you tell me it costs this much, I'm going to pay it and I'm going to walk away. I can't, haggling. I'm getting anxious and my voice is speeding up and my heart is beating faster just even thinking about haggling.
Good thing you married me.
But suburbia.
I liked it a lot.
Ben, bye.
Oh, man.
This has been the Botch Game Podcast. Thank you for listening.
So we had fun at Origins?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to go back next year?
Yes.
Do you want to go back next year?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least a day or two.
Okay.
Do you want to go back?
Yeah.
There's nobody over there. I always want to go back.
I do too.
I thought it was fun this year. There was actually things I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I could keep myself busy even with.
And you met some people, so you'll know them again next year.
Yeah. But I was way tired the night I met people. Way tired.
Yeah.
Not as
I
tired
wanted
as
to
him.
nap, and Jose and Craig both begged me not to. So
I didn't beg you now. You could have napped. I would have just stolen Karen away and we would have played games. Because after dinner, I was feeling great. Finally. After 3 days, or after a half a day of... Ugh.
Dropping Mountain Dews and not feeling bad.
Yes,
and not feeling good.
Yes, I exploded a Mountain Dew on a bunch of people. One person in particular.
And a prototype.
No, I missed the prototype. Because I asked him and he said I missed the prototype. So there. But yes, it was a good time. I'm glad that you both enjoyed it. And let's wrap up this section.
Okay, bye.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Thanks for listening.
So for the bulk of our Origins episode, I am joined by the one and only,
Will Happney.
nope, Tyler Marks, who has been my Origins partner since, let's see, 2008. So this
Yes.
is our 8th year going together.
It is?
Yeah, some years we only went a day. Other years we stopped in for a few hours on our way to somewhere else. But we've been there in some capacity for the past 8 years.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, and it's something that we do every year together.
And hope to continue that.
Good. So you enjoyed yourself this year.
Yes. Like every year.
Why don't we start with talking about some of our Origins traditions? What are some of the things that you and I do together every year?
Well, on the way there, we stop at Oasis.
Right, which changed names now, which sucks. I don't know what it's even
Minute
called.
Mart.
Minute Mart. But every time we go to Columbus, we stop at Oasis. Whenever we get to Origins, what do we normally do? Whenever we get in the vendor hall, what do we normally do?
I don't know.
We normally immediately buy a game.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Just immediately. No matter what day we go, we walk in the door, we find the first thing that we think looks awesome, and we buy it. Last year it was...
Flick 'em up.
Nope.
Oh.
I got to flick them up at Gen Con. Last year was... we got all kinds of promo tiles.
Lanterns.
Lanterns. Which we didn't even hear about until we saw it at Origins. Mm-hmm. Are we super glad we picked that one up?
Yes, because I still love it.
Yeah. So this year it was My Happy Farm from Portal Games.
Yes, that's a fun one.
And we were like building animals and making them not so sad animals.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good games for kids.
I think so. I think not really like young kids because you have to like balance your... your vegetables and when you're harvesting them and when you're selling, all kinds of that stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be like Zach's age, maybe.
I think we should try it. Zach's my nephew. He's
8.
So I think that we should give it a shot with him. He might get it. So what are some other Origins traditions?
Immediately find either Twitter friends or actual friends.
Uh-huh. And we did both of those this year.
Yes. I think that's about it.
What was the hangout this year?
Pikachu's butt.
Pikachu's butt.
Hashtag it.
So behind the...
Pokemon booth.
Yeah, behind the Pokemon booth. Above the Pokemon booth, actually, there was a giant inflatable Pikachu, and the open play tables were behind the vicinity of Pikachu's hindquarters. So it just came to be known as Pikachu's butt.
Which you've started.
Well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You got the first tweet.
I did make the first tweet about it, but I don't know...
Let's make hashtag Pikachu's butt a thing.
Yeah. Someone else, I think, said it first, and I heard it, So I don't know who created it. Someone said they did create it, but I don't know. But whatever.
Who
But
cares?
anyway,
You made it.
Pikachu's butt is a thing.
It is.
They made a Twitter account.
They did.
They just followed me.
They did.
Hashtag Pikachu's butt was a thing.
It was.
For one brief, tiny moment in time, it was trending.
It was.
Yeah, not like a very high trend, but it was trending. Like, it was like number 20. Pikachu's butt. Some like 200 tweets in the last blah, blah, blah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. For one brief, tiny moment in life, Pikachu's butt was trending. But that's where we hung out, and that's where we
did
played.
it.
We did it. We hit the big time. But that's where everybody hung out, and that's where we played a whole bunch of games and hung out with some cool people. So our last tradition that we always do whenever we go to Origins.
Demo games.
Well, yes, we do demo games.
So now for the last one, I have no clue.
You should. It happens every Saturday of Origins.
Beaties.
Beatty's Mongolian Barbecue.
My bowl name this year was Kickin' in Noodles.
Kickin' and Noodles.
Because Saker thought I said Kickin' in Noodles when I actually said Chicken and Noodles.
So we usually meet up with some of our real life friends that are
Yes.
from the Youngstown area who all moved to Columbus because apparently Columbus is the place to be.
It is.
So why are you going to move there when you get older?
No.
Go to Ohio State.
Moving all the way across the United States.
To where?
California.
For what?
I have no clue.
You're a dork. So we meet a whole bunch of our real life friends down there, and they are always at Origins in the role playing area. But we normally meet up with them Saturday for lunch at Beatty's, and we did again this year. And what are the two things that happen every year at Beatty's? Okay, 3 things, because I know you're going to add one. First, what does everybody have to do?
Name their bowl.
Whenever you get your bowl back, you have to name your bowl.
Ask questions around the table, like
Your favorite.
your favorite whatever.
Yeah.
Like your favorite TV show. Your favorite TV show with more than 4 words in it.
Your favorite article of clothing.
Favorite type of meat.
Mine was pork loin, by the way. I'm sure yours was just chicken.
It was.
It was favorite cut of meat.
Yeah.
And you were like, chicken.
Chicken. And yours, wait for it.
Yeah.
That is also a thing that happened.
That's the other tradition, is that they forget about my bowl in the back. All right, so let me tell a couple stories here. First off, everybody names their bowl, like you said.
Yes.
So you come back with your bowl, whatever's in your bowl, you come up with a catchy title. Like one year, someone just grabbed all the seafood they could and just had a bowl of seafood, and they named it Ariel's Nightmare.
Was it George?
It was George, yes. But the thing about it is that I am deathly allergic to seafood. Maybe not deathly, but I'm super allergic to seafood. Like Hitch sipping from a bottle of Benadryl, allergic to seafood. And I have to have my bowl cooked in the back, so it's not around any seafood on the giant skillet. And they normally forget about it. 1 year, 2 years in a row, they lost it. My first bowl, they just lost it completely. Took it in the back, gone, disappeared. This year, the waitress said the waiter said he was going to guard my bowl with his life, and I got it. It was about 5 minutes after everybody else got their food, but I got it.
You got it.
It was delicious.
Mine was also delicious.
It was the most delicious bowl I've ever had and made in my life.
Even though tortilla got stuck in my braces.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Tortilla, like the soft tortilla.
Yeah.
So that's
It was fun.
That's probably non-gaming wise. That's probably my favorite tradition is Beatty's.
Yeah.
I love to hang out with everybody that we haven't seen in an entire year because they all moved away from Youngstown. And, it's just such a good time. Everybody's such a riot. So let's talk about some of our favorite things. What was your favorite thing about Origins this year?
Favorite thing about Origins this year was probably meeting all your Twitter friends, because Twitter friends are amazing.
They really are. So who were some of your favorites then? Because I didn't even know this is going to be your answer. I mean, that's really cool.
I don't know.
Well, Patrick.
Yeah.
We played Cyclades with Patrick, and you guys jabbed at each other all weekend.
Yes, we did.
And then we played a bunch of games with
Matt.
With Matt and Kel from Nonsensical Gamers, and they were pretty cool. And then probably one of my favorite things that didn't include me was you got to sit in a game of junk art, as we talked about in our played section, with like
Chris.
Kirkman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt Wolf. Kopak.
Chris Kopak.
Tiff.
Tiff Bonson from Nonsensical Gamers.
That other guy.
And that other guy, which I never caught his name. But we just walked you up, and they were like, yeah, sit in, it'll be great. And you played an entire game of junk art, and, I mean, you had a great time, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did, and except Kimberly bumped the table. And
She did. Kimberly did. Kimberly, if you're listening, you ruined that whole game. Do you have any other favorite things that you want to talk about?
another
Favorite game, favorite thing we checked out, favorite thing you saw?
My favorite game was probably playing with two drunk people. It was Billionaire Banshee.
Okay.
And that was just, I didn't know what was going on because...
Those are some of our personal friends. We're a little bit lit. So what was Billionaire Banshee about? Because I didn't get to play it.
Basically, there's a deck of perks and quirks, and you're trying... The backstory is like, I think they made this up, but I don't know. It's like you meet a person at a con, here's their perk, so you read what's on the card, and then here's their quirk, and you read the card. People try and guess if you are going to date them or deny them. And whatever the person who has that perk and quirk flips whatever card, date or deny. Whoever had date or deny, whatever person who had that wins a point, basically. If that made any sense at all, it probably didn't.
Yes, it did. So give me an example of some perks and quirks.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me the best example of that game so people out there know exactly what we're talking about.
Like, the perk is she has a huge house made of chocolate,
Tasty.
but you can't eat it. But that's not the quirk. It's like, it has this huge house of chocolate, you can't eat it.
Okay.
So it's like, and it never melts.
Okay. Well, at least it'll smell delicious all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the perk
It'll
is...
be easy to hang things on the wall.
Oh, yeah, that is true. And then the quirk is, she has one big, huge Cyclops eye. It's like, who doesn't want a house of chocolate? Who cares about the face? But in real life, it's actually the opposite.
Yeah, you're still young.
I know.
And then, so then you vote date or deny, and
Yes.
then the person who drew those cards says whether they would have dated or denied them. And
Yeah.
then it's one of those games where the points don't really matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one was like, they rule the world as their perk. And then their quirk was, they have, it's like two people, but their heads are combined at the neck. It's
Okay.
like, one controls one arm and one leg, the other controls the other arm and leg. And it's like, who doesn't want to rule the world, right? 3, you would be ruling the world.
Yeah. But then you'd have to date two women at the same time.
Who cares?
Oh, man. You're still young.
Okay, next.
My favorite thing about Origins was probably just being able to walk up to a table and play a game with someone.
Yeah, that is kind of nice also.
It didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter if I knew him from social media or from the podcast or what. Just walking up and being like, hey, you want to play a game? Just playing a game.
Yep.
I also really enjoyed being able to hang out with you and hang out with Erin and Jose and Will. It was really fun to be able to be there with everyone.
Yeah.
My favorite game, man, I didn't really play too much new stuff. We bought and played Oh My Goods and My Happy Farm, and they were pretty good.
Yep.
But I think like my highlight game-wise of the weekend is Will and I stayed up.
Oh my gosh.
Was it Wednesday night or Thursday? I think it was Wednesday night.
Wait, when did we get in?
Maybe it had to have been Thursday night, because Wednesday night we
Yeah.
stayed at Scott's.
Yeah.
So Thursday night, Will and I stayed up in the hotel bar until like 5 o'clock in the morning playing a game of Star Wars Rebellion. And I, for the first time, played the Rebels, and I'm still undefeated. I have not lost a game of Star Wars Rebellion. 5 games in, undefeated.
It's the opposite with Netrunner.
No. That's probably my second favorite thing I did is Matt from Nonsensical Gamers and I got to play Netrunner face-to-face instead of online. And for the first time ever, I won my first game. I finally won a game of Netrunner.
Yeah, but it's like, before that, it was like the same thing.
Yeah,
You were undefeated and then unwinningable?
I don't know. I don't think that's the word.
That's a word. It's a word now. Put it in the dictionary. You have never won a game.
Unwinningable.
Yes.
But I won my first game ever of Netrunner, and it was super sweet and super awesome. And it came down to the very last card, and I won. So good.
I've only played it once, so I only know about half the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah. So what was the low point of Origins? What was the worst thing at Origins that happened?
Catacombs.
This is probably going to get us in a whole lot of trouble. So I'm going to try and leave maybe, I don't know, I haven't decided. Maybe I'll leave some of the names out, maybe I won't, because it was super aggravating. But I know why it happened. Do you want me to tell the story? Do you want to tell the story?
You.
Okay, so you and I were over at the booth looking at Catacombs.
Yes.
Which, tell me what you thought about Catacombs.
I liked it.
Liked past tense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is it?
It's circular flicking game, dexterity game, whatever flick 'em up is.
But it's one versus many, like a dungeon crawl.
Yeah.
Every player's like a hero with different abilities and spells that all relate to flicking.
Yeah.
And it was pretty sweet, and you were really into it, right?
Yep.
But then, as the guy who created it was giving us the spiel and telling us about how the things worked, and was about to like play a sample turn with Tyler, and Tyler was all into it. Somebody who is a super major player in board game media casually starts walking past the Catacombs booth. The guy mid-sentence stops what he's doing, turns around, walks away from us to chase down this media figure just to get him to come to the booth to like tell him about the Kickstarter, what's going on.
Yeah.
Just like stopped and walked away.
Yep.
We were just getting like the gist, and he was gonna let you play a little sample thing and show you how to flick and cast a spell and da-da-da, and you were super excited.
Yep.
And I was like, man, if Tyler likes this so much, I might have to look at picking this up because I've heard really good things about Catacombs. But then...
That happens.
And you were kind of upset about it.
Yep.
And I was really pissed about it. But like I'm saying, I understand why it happened because this is going to sound terrible, but in board game terms, we're nobodies. Like, I run a little tiny podcast, and we got some listeners and things, but we don't have near the scope of people of sway that this person does.
Yeah.
And it was it was upsetting. It was like we didn't matter.
Yeah.
We're customers who are going to spend money to buy that game, as opposed to the other person who was just probably going to be given a game so he could review it. It was upsetting.
Yeah.
So that was definitely my low point too. And if anybody wants more of the story, feel free to direct message me on Twitter. I'll gladly talk more about it because I'm pissed.
And don't go spreading out rumors.
Yeah, don't go spreading rumors. I don't care. I don't care what that person thinks of me. He doesn't even know that I exist. He or she doesn't even know I exist. But anyway, let's get back to some fun stuff.
Me and Will did not sword fight.
Nope.
Me and Evan did not sword fight.
Nope. You guys did a paint and take.
We did.
How did that go?
Terrible for me, because I have no imagination at all.
Well, you do.
No.
Well, you do.
No.
But
Not one
painting is a skill that took me a long time to even begin to get the hang of. And you wanted to paint a cowboy to look like...
McCree, and it did not look like McCree.
And
at
he
all.
ended up looking like Woody from Toy Story.
Yes. Hey, that's all I wanted was the wood floor, and I got it.
So, let me ask you this. As a 14-year-old, did you ever feel like you were put out, like, oh, the adults are playing, I'm going to have to do something else?
Well, except for the last day when you and Matt were playing Netrunner.
Well, yeah, but you...
And I just was like, I'm so tired of this, I just want to go home.
Yeah, you were wiped out at that point, but we didn't make you feel like you were left out.
No.
So, at no point did you feel like, oh, I'm just a kid, I'm getting pushed away, I can't even play these games because, whatever.
Mm-mm.
I think even like Cyclades, Patrick was like, let's go, and just set you up, and you almost won.
Almost.
Yeah. So
it was one turn away.
Yeah. Good. And that's something that I want to make sure, like, whenever you go to things and conventions with me, is that, like, you're one of my two biggest gaming partners. You and Erin, we play all the games together.
Yeah.
You're not just my kid who sits at the table with me and I force to play games. Like, you devise strategies and do things and beat me up.
Except for Seven Wonders. But regularly, you beat me at things. Yeah.
With your own strategy.
Yeah,
like Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe, douche. You had it like planned 4 turns ahead, and I was like, I can't even do anything.
No, that was a good time. That was a fun game. Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe.
In the end, you had fun.
Yes.
I had fun.
Yes.
Would you go back?
Yes.
You want to go back?
Yes.
In a hotel?
Yes.
Or does that matter?
I would like to have a hotel again. Sounds nice.
It was.
Plus, I'm gonna be older next year, so it's like
I'd like to find a roommate because I don't think Will is going back to Origins.
We'll see.
And I kind
It's
of
another year away. We'll
I
see.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad because I felt like I had to almost like guide Will around to things for a lot of it, and I felt really bad about it because I just wanted to sit down and play games.
Yeah.
Like, sign me up, let's play some things. Mm-hmm. So,
Plus, you did want a demo for Portal games, but
all in all, I think it was a really good convention.
yeah.
It's my favorite convention. I don't think that I'll ever go back to Gen Con unless someone's paying me a hotel room and a badge and traveling fees and everything to run games for them. I don't think I'm ever going back to Gen Con because...
Why did you demo for someone at Gen Con?
Portal, but it was just like a demo for games kind of thing. So, yeah, I absolutely love Origins. I love the people at Origins. I love the size of Origins.
Plus, we're close to Origins.
Yeah, we're only 2.5 hours away.
Which isn't that bad compared to Cousins. 6 hours. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was the weekend before for you. But like as a result of Origins, I've got invited to a little like
Panera-con.
a local gathering that happens in Mansfield, Ohio. I think if I go up to Cleveland, I can actually introduce myself to Ken Grazier now because I know of him from Origins. Like I made some really good contacts and some really neat friends, and I guess the big downside for me is now I have to wait an entire year to see everyone again.
Yeah, except for Copac and Tiff and all of them.
Yeah, Matt was like, you should come out to Baltimore, but I don't know about that. That's a long drive. But
Yeah, no.
so
And I've already been to Baltimore, and it's like, I don't want to go back there.
the thing about it is everything in Baltimore would kill me. I think I think we talked about this in the family
I think
plays
so.
section. Everything there would kill me.
Yeah.
So in the end, we had a super fun time at Origins. I don't want to speak for Tyler, but I think that it's pretty safe to say that we're excited to go back. We're excited to meet everybody. We're excited to hang out at Pikachu's butt.
Maybe.
Maybe excited to hang out at Pikachu's butt.
Maybe if it's there next year.
Oh, they weren't. Pokemon wasn't there for a couple years. Remember back when you were super young, the year that Peter Mayhew was there.
Oh my gosh. He's old now.
Yeah, that was the year that Pokemon was there. Huge. They had a huge tournament there.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite origin story was there was that lady handing out promo cards, the Pokemon
Maybe.
TCG promo cards, and then
Maybe.
there were two booths that were buying the promo cards. So for $1 a piece. So you walked out, and the lady had no idea who anybody was. She was just like blindly handing cards out when you walk past. So you walk past, you get a promo, you walk over, you sell it for $1. You walk past, you get a promo, you walk. I think I did that until I had enough money to pay for my BDs. I think I did it like 16, 18 times. I know, it's terrible of me.
No, you should have just walked.
I paid for my lunch. Free lunch. You know, that's how some people in this world make money, being the middleman. Any last things that you want to say about Origins?
I think it was that one.
It was. That was exactly when it was.
Battle Road Autumn.
2007,
2007,
2008.
yeah.
So you were 5.
Jeez, oh man. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
9 years ago.
Apparently, that's the first year we went. You were 5, not 6. This whole time I've been saying 6, and you were 5.
Well, I don't care. Next year it will be 10 years.
Yeah, next year will be your 10-year anniversary of going to Origins.
Yes.
That's exciting. So wrap us up, kid. Any last things about Origins? Any last stories? Any last bits of wisdom or good things, bad things? What?
Get a hotel.
Okay.
Don't stay at a friend's house, even though he had Overwatch.
So any last bits of wisdom for people going to Origins?
Get a
or
hotel.
people thinking about going to Origins?
Get a hotel.
Should they go?
Yes.
Why? Give me the 10-second wrap-up of why Origins is awesome.
Never go to Gen Con, because it's way too many people. And Origins is pretty much just the right amount of people for a con. It's less than 10 seconds, but I don't care.
Great people.
Great people. Great Twitter friends.
Great games.
Great games.
Great food. The Columbus area food scene is delicious.
And don't go during the Pride Parade.
That was a little crazy because we
It
couldn't
was.
cross the street. But I mean, the parade was still great. But
I found us a way to cross the street. You're
you did.
welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Over the nationwide bridge.
Yeah. So that's going to wrap us up for the Origins episode. I'm sure that there's more to be said, but I mean, we're still on a high from it. I can't believe it's an entire year before we get to go back because it's like my Christmas.
It is. It's like your second Christmas.
Yeah.
From your second family.
Yeah.
Your Twitter friend family.
Yep. So that's it. Thanks so much for joining me in the recording, kid.
You're welcome.
Thanks. And I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh man, 4th of July is coming up. You get to march for like 2 miles.
Oh gosh, help me.
Yeah, carrying a giant bass drum.
Yeah, it's not that giant. It's like 5 pounds. It's still that heavy. My shoulders are gonna be rip.
Yeah, check Twitter. You'll see pictures of Tyler in his uniform marching. It's gonna be super sweet.
It's gonna be fun. See ya.
All right, bye. So that's going to wrap up episode number 51 of the Botch Games podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We will be back in 2 weeks with an episode about Star Wars Rebellion. It'll either be me and Will, or it'll be me and somebody special. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens, because Will's been totally tied up with adulting, and adulting is the worst, which is why in the intro and outro, it's just been me, and you didn't hear him in this entire section. But if you want to reach any of us, you can do so mostly easily. The main way is on Twitter. You can find Tyler at nullmarks62021. You can find Will, even though he was not in this episode, at Will Hapney on Twitter. You can find me at the main page at Botch Games on Twitter, or on Facebook at Botch Games. BotchGames1@gmail.com if you would like to email me. You can check out the website at botchgames.wordpress.com. Yes, I'm cheap. I'm running a WordPress site. Deal with it. You can also check us out on BGG Guild number 2197, which is boardgamegeek.com/guilds/2197. Feel free to start a conversation over there. I'm not so good at starting them, but I'm really good at contributing to them. It's not very active over there. I'm just bad at it. I work at a job where I can't access a lot of things for most of the day, and by the time I get home, I'm tied up with other stuff, and I just don't have time to troll around on BGG. But if you start a conversation, I will be there. Lastly, if you want to rate us, you can do so on iTunes or on Stitcher. We're going to be joining the Google Play store of podcasts soon. And apparently you can get on Spotify somehow. So I'm going to check that out. But other than that, if you want to reach out, find me on Twitter at Botch Games, and we will chat. We will set up to play some games. I am willing to travel up to 3 hours away to play games with you on a weekend, because I don't play enough games at home because my group is awful. Gosh, I have such terrible adulting issues. # first world problems. In 2 weeks, we will be back with a regular episode talking about actual things. Star Wars Rebellion, that's the goal. See you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great one.